everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Melina and I talk about travel, adventure, lifestyle, all kinds of things. So today I am going to be talking about how to go about planning a trip. So let's just jump into it. This video is going to assume that you already have a location chosen. I'll probably do a separate video on how I pick where I want to travel. But for this one, just say that you have a location, and I'm going to use Portugal because my husband and I are leaving to go to Portugal for our honeymoon in just a couple of weeks. So let's say the destination is Portugal. The very first thing you want to do is a ton of research. I know that sounds obvious, but look on forums, look on TripAdvisor, look on World Nomad, and just as many places as you can. I personally even like to get travel books, so I've bought a couple on Portugal, and I find those really helpful kind of to determine what type of trip you want to take. An adventure trip, a beach trip, a road trip, you know, just figure out, okay, how many cities do I want to see? What's the best way for me to get to those cities? Do I want to stick with just main cities? So my husband and I did that, and we decided we wanted to see as much of Portugal as possible and even have a chance to stop in some smaller towns and have some flexibility. So we decided to go for a road trip. Road trips are great because they will let you leave early if you don't like that town, or if there's something in another town you didn't know about but you learned about once you were already there. It's a lot more flexible and you can hit those smaller towns. Now, a lot of people find driving in foreign countries a little scary, understandably so, so that's something to take into consideration. Also, if you're an American, almost all cars abroad are gonna be manual transmission, meaning a stick shift. So you gotta know how to do that if you wanna rent a car. So keep that in mind. Step 2 is figure out your route. So once you kind of have an idea of what kind of trip that you wanna go on, figure out exactly how you're getting from point A to B to C to D, whatever. So for us, we're doing kind of a loop around Portugal. And once we had the cities picked out, we decided how long we wanted to stay where. So we do want to spend a couple days at the beach. So we're going to stay longer in Lagos than we are in Lisbon and Porto and those smaller towns. So for us, that's what we decided to do. And I think it's going to be a great trip. Next, this is already assuming that you have your airfare and you have the dates that you're going and you've picked out your location. So you want to book your hotels. Once you know where you're going, what type of trip you have, the route, how long you're staying where, book your hotels as soon as possible. You'll get the better rates, you'll get the better hotels, more availability, all that good stuff. Kind of remember different, like we're staying in a 5-star hotel in a town that's kind of out in the middle of nowhere. And it's not really a 5-star hotel, but it was once a palace. It's gonna be awesome. I'll show you probably in a video, but it's not the same as a 5-star hotel in, say, Porto or Lagos. So just keep that in mind when you're booking. Make sure you read reviews, kind of go through the whole process knowing as much as possible. So do your research ahead of time. It'll help you out down the road. Then, once you have your hotels booked, you're gonna wanna figure out what you wanna do in each city. Now, this part you probably should have looked at a little bit when you're deciding how long you wanna stay where, but really go in and say, okay, I wanna go see this amazing bookshop in Porto. You need to buy your tickets ahead of time for that. That way you know that you'll be able to get in. So, at this point, make yourself a little mock itinerary, and how I like to do it when I'm traveling for fun by myself is I will say, I will be disappointed if I leave the city without hitting these 3 main points. And then I give myself another list of these are things that we could do if we feel like it. So we have a main objectives and an alternates list. So we focus on the main objectives, and then we see if we feel like going to a museum or walking through a park or going to the beach, or I have options so we're not sitting in our hotel room wasting time Googling what to do in Porto or whatever, or Lisbon or wherever you are. I already have those activities researched ahead of time and we can just pick from the list. It makes the trip a lot more fun, and you have the planning but not this like rigid structure. So you have some idea of what you're doing, but you still have the flexibility to move around and make the trip fun and adapt to the situation, which I think is awesome. The next step is to make sure all of your documents are in order. That means shots, passports, visas, everything that you need. So important. Even if you've already done it because you should have done that before you booked the flight, you need to make sure that you do it double check, triple check that you have everything you need. Like for us, because we are doing a road trip, we're gonna go get an international driver's license. That way we don't have any problems. There's some debate about whether you have to have it or you don't need it or whatever, but we would rather be safe than sorry. So do your research, double check, and then finally leave your itinerary with someone at home as well. So make a copy for your roommate, your family, whoever it is that you trust at home. That way, should something happen or should you need to be contacted, they know how to get a hold of you. It's also really good to leave a copy of your passport at home. That way, if you lose your passport, somebody has a backup copy and you'll be able to, hopefully, you should be carrying a copy with you too, but someone at home should have it. So if you need to go to the embassy and get a new one, you can, and it won't be quite so bad. So then just go have fun. You know, things happen when you travel, your flights get delayed, hotels turn out to be really terrible. It's part of the fun of travel. So adapt to your situation, make the best of it, and go make those memories. If you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, leave a comment down below what other types of videos you'd like to see. I would love to chat about travel and adventure, all kinds of stuff. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. I will see you guys next time. Bye.